Hey, hey, welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
Yes,
We are super excited that you are joining us this evening. We have a really fun project planned out for you
we do.
tonight,
We do.
and it really brings out your inner child.
It really
It's
does.
absolutely, it's so much fun. So much fun.
It really is. It really is. So I just love these little fabric
You
balloon
can't
balls.
even hold on to
Well,
them.
they're just really light and super fun. Like, while we're waiting on people to get on, we can just like play. Look. Ah,
Uh-huh, yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
Oh,
boom,
goodness,
boom.
you're fun.
What?
You
All
are
right.
hilarious.
See, up. Yep, there you go.
Just like that. Boom, 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 boom.
No, it's fun. Like,
These are a lot of fun. They're very lightweight. They're
yes.
easy to make. They're super easy to make. I'm going to show
Yeah.
you that tonight.
Uh-huh.
Just fun. All enjoy. They're just cute. I just like them.
Well, I mean, and the best thing is they're balloons, so you can just let the air out or pop that one, fold it up, put the next one, and you're ready to go.
You ready to go?
Yeah. So, hey,
Fun
let
stuff.
us know if you have ever made one of these fabric balloon balls,
Yeah.
fun time fabric balloon balls.
I know at least one person watching has.
Oh,
Shout out to Shirley. One of
yes.
our amazing customers actually showed us
Yes.
how she made one of these with this amazing template set. And we're like, oh, we got to have
We got to try
these.
that. And
We
then,
got to have
yeah,
these.
exactly. And then Corey's been back here making them, and he's like,
Like
oh,
crazy.
I got so many gifts I can make now. Because,
So
you only
easy,
need
and they're
one
so
template set, and you
fast.
can make 1,000 of them.
You can. You honestly
Yeah,
can.
as long as
and
you have
you've
the
always got
fabric
plenty.
and balloons.
Right.
So, anyway,
Okay,
all
I
right.
think without further ado, let's just jump into it.
All right, let's do
Let's
that.
get into it and
Okay.
see exactly what we can do.
Okay, let's do that.
So, with these Fun Time fabric balloon template sets, they come in a 6-inch size and a 10-inch size, so you can make a smaller one, maybe for infants or toddlers.
Okay. Or me.
Or for you. Yeah, you can have that one. Or you can make the 10-inch one, which is much larger, fun to kick around, fun for the inner child within you. There's so many things
Exactly.
you can do with this one, and they are absolutely fun. So tonight we are going to be doing the 10-inch one. So we'll move. You want to hold on to that? There you go.
I
You're in
will,
charge.
but let's show them over there, like on the description. It'll say kind of how to cut it with all solid fabric. So show them what it looks like with
Oh,
solid.
yes,
You gotta show
definitely.
your
I was
first
getting there.
prototype.
Hold on. So my prototype was this one. This is a all solid, the exact same fabric all the way around,
Mhm.
and that is what the instructions tell you, and that's what they're showing you in this is using that same fabric. But I wanted to take it a step further after playing around with it and pattern these around the sides and do something different on the top and on the bottom.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be working with tonight. But you can do one full solid fabric out of something you've got in your scraps. And it's just a quarter of a yard, or a third of a yard
Yep.
is all you need. So we're going to take this set. I'm going to open it up for you so you can see how it's used. You get nice instructions here. We get the 6-sided template there to do the 6 sides of the ball. And then the little hexagon for the top and the bottom. And it also comes with 2 balloons.
There you
We
go.
love that.
So everything is there that you need to get started, but your fabric. So that's super
Yes.
fun. Okay.
Yes. So I am going to start with my fabric, and this is my alma mater, so I'm going to use this one.
Yes.
And I am going to just open this up. And the way I look at doing this, and this was a tip that I found when I was doing these many, many times, is I want to start with a fold, because you can fold this over itself multiple times and just do one nice cut all the way through it. So I can take this, and let me turn it this way, it makes it a little easier for me to fold it. And I can start my first fold, and I can lay that template to gauge that size and see if that's what I'm exactly going to need. And I can see that that'll work for me.
Perfect.
So then I can pull this right at that seam line, or I'm going to call it a seam line for lack of a better term, but at that fold, lay that down, and there's my 3 pieces that I'm going to need since I'm patterning this around the side. Now
Correct.
remember, if you're doing one solid fabric, do 6 of these.
Yep.
Okay. But since I'm doing a pattern, I'm going to do 3 of one and 3 of another. I'm going to double check one more time that that's good with sizing. I'm going to take it over to the ironing mat. I just like to give it one nice press through.
To make it probably a little bit easier for cutting.
It's a
Kinda
little
keep it in
easier to
place.
hold it together.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So one nice iron through, not that crazy by any means, but just enough to hold it. And then once I've got that, you can come back to the cutting board here, take a rotary cutter and slice if you want to get rid of that excess. I just like fabric scissors. Come right through here, cut that away. We good so far?
We are. We got
Okay.
people watching from all over. And Australia again. That's awesome. Michigan, Colorado, Florida.
So I'm
Love
going to
it.
lay this here,
Let's go.
move this off to the side, and I'm just going to set my template right on top. Doesn't matter, there is no right or wrong side to this template. And then I'm just going to get a nice grip on it, come in with my rotary cutter, and start the cutting process. Remember, I'm doing 3 layers here, so just take your time with that. And once you get to the end, just keep rolling off of it just like that, and you can move that fabric off to the side. I'm going to take this and come right here, keep going straight off of that, and y'all are going to love this. It rotates now. We got a rotating cutting mat now.
We are
We're
moving
moving up.
up.
So take that and continue cutting around those sides, just holding up against that template all the way, just like that. And if you have a little straggler, that's why we keep these little fabric scissors around. Just give it a nice little cut.
Perfect.
Right there.
All
So
right.
you move all those pieces off to the side, and that would give us our 3 pieces here, because I only did 3 folds. So there's my first 3.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to be doing another college fabric as my pattern. So then I've got my other 3 already cut, just like so.
Alrighty.
So that's my first section with that. Since you have these out already, you're going to go ahead and do another part of this. Flip this fabric pretty side down and lay your template right back on top of that fabric. And I want you to take a fine, super fine tip pin, like extra fine tip pin. And there we go. And what you're going to do is there's 4 holes on the corner of this template.
Yeah, so this was just size 0.5. It's called the fine tip, like in the school supplies.
Perfect. And you're just going to take that and make dots inside those 4 holes. And you want to do that on all of your pieces, and that's what you're going to be stitching in between. So I'll move that one off to the side, lay this one down, line that template back up, dot, 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 and dot. So take that one, and then last but not least, we're going to take this one, line this one up, rightly so, and just dot right through there, just like that. So I have these 3, and then I've already done these other 3 on the back of this one. So you want to do your dots on all of those. Once that's done, set these over to the side, and now we get to cut out our hexagons.
Yay.
Okay, so I'll set that template over here. I'm going to take this. I wanted to do a different color fabric on top and bottom. Like we said before, you can do the same fabric all the way through. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to take this, same process of the fold, eyeball it, make sure you got plenty of space here for your cut. Fold, fold, fold. Line that up, take it over, give it a nice press, just to make it easy.
There you go.
Nice press, just like that. Back over to your cutting board. Lay this one on here. If you want to get rid of any excess fabric, now would be the time. Just going to eyeball that, just like that. That was easy. And then come around, and same thing here. You're going to cut around this side. And it's easier just to go right straight off the edges here. Rotate. Man, why have we never had one of these before?
I have
These
no
rotating
idea.
cutting mats are everything. And you're just going to keep slicing right off this. And yes, I know I'm wasting a little bit of fabric here. However, you could, line that template up a little bit better so you can get the most out of your fabric. But we're just cutting right through. No worries there. All right, those off to the side. Same thing here. You've got marking points along this template. This time you have 6 on each corner, or 1 on each corner of the 6, not 6 on each corner. My goodness. Lay this one down, put this on top. Now the thing about this, especially with me using a black fabric, I can't see this pin right on top of that, so I'm going to come in with a chalk pencil, and I'm just going to scrape right over the top of that fabric hole, and it's going to drop a little bit of chalk dust. Don't you love that, Diana?
Yeah.
A little bit of chalk dust right down there.
Dust.
You can just scrape it right over.
I was thinking that chalk pencil is not going to fit in there. And
Nope.
And you said that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, perfect.
And that's going to push it through, and then you could use your pencil
if you wanted to.
if you wanted just to define the lines, the dots a tad bit more.
Perfect.
But that way you can actually see it. So you're going to do that around all 6 points here. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Now, if you're using a lighter color fabric,
You can just use your pen, right?
you could still see your pen, at that point. But these darker color fabrics, it's nice to have a chalk pencil to do that.
Yep. Everybody needs a chalk pencil.
You always
in their
have to have a
arsenal
chalk pencil.
anyway, just
You
for
always,
the
your
quilting
studio
or any
needs a
other
chalk
stuff.
pencil.
Yep.
All right. So that takes care of all of those.
All right.
Okay. So with these, we've cut out 3 of these hexagons, and you're thinking why there's not 3 sides on this ball. There's only a
Yeah.
top and a bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to set one of these off to the side with my other pieces that I've already cut.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to take these hexagons, both of these little dots, be backwards.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so dots on both sides. Lay those together, just like so. Then what I'm going to do is I like to have a straight edge with me because I'm going to actually draw a line from point to point right here. And I'm going to grab my straight edge. And this isn't in the instructions. This is just a little tip that I found it to make it a little bit easier for myself when I was making, you know, how many of these I've done. Probably too many. I should have been working. But I'm going to draw this line, and I'm just going to go faintly all the way through, just like that. And then you want to give yourself about 1 to 1.5 inches of gap right here. And you'll see why, but about 1 to 1.5 inches of gap. So I go ahead and just kind of measure that out. You can eyeball it, or you can come in with your cutting mat and kind of give it a nice eyeball here. Like I said, we'll just eyeball this one. So I'm going to chalk a section there. That's a good section right there.
Yep.
So there and there. And this is just going to help me when I get to my sewing machine on where I need to start and stop at that point.
Perfect.
But now that we've got that, I'm going to first take this section to the sewing machine because I need to then come back and press this. So I'm going to hop over to the sewing machine real quick.
And I can also press too in between. You can keep going.
And right here, I'm going to drop my foot down. This is just a regular straight line stitch at this point. Nothing crazy here. I would recommend, however, doing a couple of back stitches on this one because this is where the balloon is going to be coming out of. And if you have a little bit more of those back stitches, it's going to be more secure. So you just back stitch back and forth a couple of times until you get to that line. Once I do that, I'm just going to bring up my needle and hop straight forward. I'll cut that jump stitch later at that point. Line it back up with that marking that I made. Kind of move my fabric if it's moved already, and then start stitching again. Begin with that back stitch. And we're just back stitching back and forth a couple of times. That's really going to lock this down, and you'll see why, until we get all the way to the end. Okay? I'm going to head back over to the machine, goodness gracious, I was just at the machine. Back over here to our cutting table, and I am going to trim these threads away, my little jump stitches, just like so. Nothing crazy there. And this is what really I thought was amazing. You're going to fold this on both sides, just like that. There's your opening. There's your hexagon for the bottom.
Cool.
You see that?
Got it. Okay.
So I'm going to hop right over here. Press this down. Makes it a little bit easier for you. Go ahead and press that down nice and flat. One good, nice long press. Once you have that done, then everything goes straight to the sewing machine and we're good to go from there. So I'm going to get those nice and pressed. I'm going to collect my materials, my other hexagon, all 6 of my pieces, and I'm going to head right over to the sewing machine. And let me get positioned. Now with this one, what we're doing is a 1/4 inch stitch. I want a 1/4 inch seam allowance, excuse me, not a stitch, but a 1/4 inch seam allowance around this. And what I'm doing here is I have a 1/4 inch hopping foot, which I like to use, so I'm going to put that on here real fast. And I've dropped my stitch length down to 1.5. I just like the way that looks. It holds up a little bit better with these when you're kicking them around. And then I'm going to pattern these. So I'm going to start with one, take this next one, right sides together, line those bad boys up, at least on one section. And you want to put your needle down in that first dot. So I'm going to pick this up, drop this down, and then I'm going to take my needle and put it right down in that first dot, just like so.
Okay.
And then I might have to adjust. There we go. Okay. And then from here, it's just a sewing thing. So I'm going to stitch with that 1/4 inch seam allowance, a back stitch every time you get started. Take this. You might have to make sure your fabrics stay in alignment. And this is just you're slowly going around this curve at this point. And it's nothing you have to press or nothing you have to push. Just let kind of the fabric naturally eat itself up. And you just help guide it. And when you're getting close to that ending point, just back stitch, stop, cut your threads, and then we move right on to the next one. No ironing needed at this point. So I'm just moving right on to the next one here, lining these up. I've got my dot at the top. I'm going to drop my hopping foot down, put my needle in place, line up this fabric so all the ends line up nicely here.
Looking good, looking good.
And I'll be on my way. Always remember to back stitch and then continue on. And you're going to do this all the way around. So once you get really comfortable with it, you can speed your machine up. Get closer to the end here. When you get to that dot, backstitch, you're stopping at the dot. So start at the dot, stop at the dot. Take your next piece, since we're doing a pattern. Line these up. God, isn't this fast, Diana?
It is
This
fast.
is fast.
I'm
Once,
watching
if you have
You're
all
doing a
this
great
stuff,
job.
if you have all this stuff cut out ahead of time, you could just sit here and just knock
can make a
these
bunch of
out.
these.
Oh yes.
This would even be like a really good, like a charity project too.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
and make a bunch of them and donate them to like children's things.
I
to
feel like that's
play.
your way of telling me I'm about to do
You're
that.
probably going to be doing that. You know how much
Okay.
I love to do charity work. So,
Mhm.
yep.
It's probably going to be me. So you just keep on going all the way through here. Remember, backstitch once you see that dot. Cut your threads and go on to the next
Although
one.
I feel like I could probably master this after.
It's
It
really,
yeah,
really,
it really
easy.
is easy now that
It
I'm watching
really
you do it.
is easy.
Yeah.
And once you have a video to go along with it, that's what makes it even easier.
Yeah,
You know,
and the
instead of
template's already ready to go
the
for you.
template's
to mark.
amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I see. I can't cut. I can't even sew a straight line, let alone cut a straight one. Having that template saves it. Just stitching all the way around this. Trying to keep that 1/4 inch as best as you can. It's not super imperative that it has to be a perfect 1/4 of an inch. And then our last piece, right here.
So while you're pulling that together, I just love one of these person's names, Conquering Mount Scrapmore.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
thought that was cute. Yeah, we got some people from Canada watching as well.
Oh, awesome.
So from all over.
So remember, always doing that back stitch when you start and when you end. Start and you end, keep that fabric nice and flat, and just let it take it naturally. And you just help curve with it so it has no puckers. You see your dot, back stitch. Take that. All right, so we've done all 6 of those. Maybe, if I can get that last one. Now we're going to put 1 and 6 together and stitch those down.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll line that up, find our dot, drop your foot down, needle down, remember, so it just makes it easier for you to line everything up while that fabric stays still. You can move things, do whatever you need to do to it, and then you're starting up, back stitching, and off again. I'm gonna take this all the way around. Making sure that's nice and flat. Sometimes this fabric likes to get away from you, no big deal. Just stop the machine, move it, and you're good to go again. Okay, see your dot, backstitch. Well, if I can press the right button, that would be even better. Yeah, and then there it goes. Perfect. So that's our first part right there, is just putting all those together. That's the outside of the ball. Okay?
Okay.
So then what I'm going to do is take my hexagon that doesn't have an opening, okay, and I'm going to place that at the top of my ball. Now I have a directional one because I have directional fabric. If you don't, put it wherever side you want. Take that top one. I want to be able to see these chalk dots. And what I'm going to do is basically match seam line to seam line, fabric to fabric right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to stitch that in a straight line from dot to dot. Okay, still 1/4 inch seam allowance. This gets to be a little bulky on the fabric, so don't beat yourself up. Take your time. If you need to pin it, you can. Nothing wrong with that. But you're going to get that. You're going to see your dot, needle down just to make it a little easier for you. Line that up. This is another back stitching moment as well. And you're going to the dot, back stitch. I personally pull up my foot and I recenter this each time. You could just bounce from side to side if you're really getting into it. I think it's easier just to move this around. So I'm going to get that lined up, lay that there. You want that to be nice and flat, just like that. And you're going to work that around that whole 6 times all the way you go. So you can work that through, line up your fabrics, back stitch and go. This is probably the most tedious part of it, is getting these to line up. You're cutting, you're jumping, you're flipping, you're going.
Yeah.
But you put on a good show or some good music and you're going to town.
That's right. Exactly. I love that we carry these templates to sell too. We have them online.
What's our website?
Oh, longarmsupplies.net.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. They're called Fun Time Fabric Balloon Balls.
Just put fun time in the search description. That's the only thing that says fun in the
Okay, that's
title
true.
of any of them. Just type in fun time at the search box.
There
It'll
you
pull
go.
up.
There you go.
So I'm just working this through all the way. I wanted y'all to be able to see this all step by step. We were going to have something completely, basically almost done already, but we said, no, let's let them see this, because you'd be surprised what one little thing can really change in a video. Isn't that right?
Yep.
There's
One little tiny step.
one little tiny step that might get glazed over, and that just changes your whole outlook on how this is done. So we just keep working on this all the way through. It looks messy right now. It won't when you flip it all the way out. It's going to look great. Y'all going to love it, trust me. Okay. One side left.
Yay.
Look at that. Lay that nice and flat, best you can. Flip that underneath. Woo. Just like that. And go to town. Okay, we're going to cut that. That's that side, and you're going to do the exact same thing with your folded piece right up top, okay? Now this side doesn't have any dots because we flipped them together. This is where you're going to begin to eyeball it. If you'd like to put dots on, feel free to grab your template, chalk those dots down, or pin them down, okay? Same thing here. Plop those together on this other side and throw it underneath the machine. Just like that. Now this one scooted on me a little bit, so don't be afraid to check it before you get going. Never hurts.
No.
And then put that back. Back stitch on this one as well. And flip and go. But now you can see why I've made so many in 24 hours. Because I stay back here and just keep going.
I know. I was like, he's not up there working. He's playing.
He's playing. Just like that. We're going to go around. But you can imagine these for all sorts of different activities. Family reunions, weddings, gatherings, get-togethers. You know, now that COVID's starting to hopefully clear. We'll see.
Yeah.
You have a gathering, bring a couple of these around. Doesn't matter if they get popped. It's not going to hurt anybody if it hits them.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Well, you and Ryan were testing it back here, hitting these glasses, and they weren't even falling.
Okay, let's not tell the people that we were back here destroying the set.
No,
with
you were
fabric
like, okay,
balls,
let's test
but
this
I wanted
out.
to see, I wanted to see what it could cause. One other cool thing about these is they actually bounce too. We didn't even
Yeah.
talk about that.
Oh no, we didn't.
They actually bounce, and it's kind of cool when you bounce them around. I've bounced them all around the office right now, but that's kind of nifty to me. I don't know why, but it's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to show them that they bounce.
And I've seen people use these for all sorts of different decorations. I've seen these used in wedding photos. They put like lace instead of fabric like this.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they fill up balloons and have them around. All sorts of different things. So super cool. All right, we're on our last section here.
Yay!
Moving around, still going. I'm almost done. And once I get here, make sure I double back and cut. And then I can head back over to the cutting table, and I can trim off these excess threads, and I can flip it inside out and show you a trick on that as well.
Alrighty. While you're coming over, I'm bouncing the ball. The balloon. See how easy it just bounces? It's like super easy, and it's so lightweight, and I can hit it off of Corey's head, and it didn't even hurt him.
Really? Keep going.
So you won't even hurt the kids.
You won't even hurt the kids. That's good. That's parent of the year right there. Alrighty. So I'm going to take this.
I meant to say like when kids are playing together,
yeah, that's what
they
you
won't
meant.
hurt each other.
Yeah, I'm going to call somebody. All right, so we have to flip this inside out. So we have our opening. It's very small. Don't let that scare you. But I want to take it all the way in, and I want you to grab the other side, this black side. Start that process first by pulling that part through. That's going to make it so much faster and easier than trying to pull in all the sides at one time.
Oh,
Trust
good
me.
tip, good tip.
Trust me. And you think you're going to rip something, but you double backed that time so many times
Yeah.
that don't worry about it. Just pull it through. You can kind of shimmy it through in certain sections, but that came through. The first one that I did took me 30 minutes to pull this through because I was trying to pull all the sides as
But
opposed
take
to
it
just
from the
reaching.
bottom.
But take it all the way from the bottom and just grab it. And then this gets flipped in on itself, just like so. Well, bam. There's your ball.
Wow.
Just
And
like
like
that.
really easy to show it. Like you can just
You ready to
fold
fold
it
that up? You can throw that in your pocket whenever y'all are done
Yeah.
and be on your way.
Take
And
out
then
the
when you get
balloons with
somewhere, you're good to go. So then we're
Yeah.
going to take this balloon, pop this in right through here, and then we get to test my lung skills right now. Oh,
Okay, let's see. Should I count? I would be
Mm-mm.
like pulling out, going, breathing hard. You got this. I wonder if you can do it with even being popped. That was
No,
fast.
stop it. So I pull that. I'm going to tie
Tie
this
it.
one. Now, the instructions talk about twisting and tucking it underneath. You can definitely do that. We found that tying it just makes it a little easier for it to stay together, especially with me because I like to kick it.
Yeah.
And for this, you're just going to take this, and let's get you an overhead
Yeah.
of that. And you're just going to take this piece here instead of leaving it dangling out. If you'll give yourself a little bit of leverage, you can push that underneath this fold and then hold it with your other finger. That way it stays down there,
Yeah.
just so you don't see it.
That is so. That's.
Boom.
I love that.
Done.
Look at that.
Isn't that cute?
Both colleges represented.
I
A little bit
know.
of solid color to separate it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, bam. Now
Yeah.
I've got my own fun time fabric balloon.
Yay.
And like I said, they bounce like you showed. And this is just, it's super easy. Making these, like I said, if you have all this stuff already cut out, you're
Yes.
good to go.
Oh, you can make a bunch of them.
You can make a ton of them. There's so much fun. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to go play. You got this.
Okay. So I do have this as it's bouncing away. See, didn't break anything. Important
You
to
didn't
have
have
the
that.
template set.
You didn't have that.
I know.
So yeah, just as a recap, you definitely want to have that template set. You have a 6-inch size and a 10-inch size.
Yep.
I'd grab both of them if I were you, just to have them ready. You're absolutely going to love them.
Yep. You can find them on our website.
Yep, right there below, longarmsupplies.net.
Yay.
It's stunning. Y'all got to have one
Well,
of
it's
these.
like a super easy
fun.
project, right?
I make these for everybody.
And it's all set perfectly.
Everybody
to
in my
go.
neighborhood's getting a fabric balloon. Bill.
Pick out their favorite fabric.
Everyone pick out your fabrics.
Great way to use scraps too.
An amazing way to use scraps.
Yeah, and we had a suggestion about a great little baby shower gift, like to have.
Now there's an
That's
idea.
a little cool idea. Baby
Gender
shower gift.
reveal.
There you go.
I can fill it with confetti, make it pop.
Okay.
There's an idea.
Alrighty.
Awesome. Well, we hope that y'all enjoyed this amazing quick little tutorial on how to create one of these fun time fabric balloon sets.
Yes.
Again, they are available on our website, longarmsupplies.net.
Yep.
If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we will get to them as we see them as we can. And as always, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Yes,
It's
please.
right down at the bottom right-hand corner.
Right there.
And after you see that, click on the little bell so you can get notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live here at After Hours.
Yay! No, that was super fun. I had so much fun watching you. Now I know I can do that.
It's easy.
And
It's so if I can do it, you can do it. Trust
Yes,
me. And I don't know how to
exactly.
run a sewing machine, so
Yeah.
y'all got this. It's easy. Just follow the lines.
Exactly. Follow
So-
the line. Anyway, thank you guys for
Alrighty.
watching.
We'll see you next time.